So right now I'm going to talk about going to school for music, whether it's music theory, music business, or whatever other music higher education or secondary education they have, versus not going to school. In my personal opinion, I feel you don't have to go to school. You don't need to go to school, but it doesn't hurt to go to school. Some of the information that you receive from higher education training, you can use. I mean, no one ever said education is needless or useless. It's just that in our field, it's not a requirement. So when you think about all the money that you'll spend on a degree in music, that really limits you in your job field, your job selection once you graduate. So unless you're going to be a music teacher, then as far as I know, there aren't too many jobs that require you to have a music degree. Any other job pertaining to music, you can basically get off of your ability or experience, not necessarily an education. So do you have to have a college degree in music to be a film composer? No. Should you have one? Not necessarily. Would it hurt if you had one? Absolutely not. Any information that you can get will only help you as a film composer. You should try your best to compile as much information as possible, whether it be experience, classroom experience, being an assistant, a composer's assistant, or just going straight in head first and learning that way. Try your best to compile all of those to get as much information you can that will make you a success. Come on, bro. But think about the amount of money it's going to cost to go to school for business, and think about how much it's going to cost you to get set up as a film composer and to be able to support yourself for, say, the first 5 years during your quest to become a successful film composer. Because you can't forget, while you're in school, you're paying that money to go to school, right? Whether you're working or not, you're having to pay the money to go to school. Meanwhile, interest is stacking up on those payments, and then when you graduate, no job is guaranteed unless you go into teaching at a school, and even that's not guaranteed. So when you graduate and those college bills come due, that's if you got a loan, now you got to pay that back and support yourself, because you want to make music all day. You don't want to work a regular job, right? If that's you, if you're watching this and you're one of those who daydreams of making music all day as their job and not having to work a regular full-time 8-hour-a-day job to support yourself, then you're going to graduate from school, no job. You have to spend the money you do have on paying the school loan back, and you don't have any income coming in, which forces you to accept any job that comes, any film scoring project that comes your way, whether it's $100, $500, $5,000, but I'm mainly talking about the scraps. You're accepting those $200, 60 minutes of music for $200 projects. That's what you're going to be accepting. And that right there is what's messing up the market for the rest of us. Because at that point, they got you. That director, they got you, and they know now that you're that dude. You're that guy that they can go to the low ball, and in your shoes, you can't resist it, because you need that $200 to survive off of, because you don't want to get a regular job, right? You don't want to do that, huh? Well, if you've watched my other videos, hopefully by now you'll come to the understanding that to be a film composer, one starting out, not already established, to be that film composer, you need an income source that you can use that's reliable to help provide for you and your family without relying on income received from film scoring. Once you get to that point, that's when you'll start feeling a little bit better, being less stressed out, and will probably be a happier composer overall. So back to school versus no school, you got to think about the finances of that. You know, if you're about to drop 50 grand on an undergrad degree in music, let's just, for all intents and purposes, just say music theory from here on out. So if you're trying to drop $50,000 on a music degree in music theory, what could you do with that 50 grand if you didn't go to school, found an established composer and became his assistant, or not, which is the case with most composers. Most of us don't have access to already established composers to be an assistant. But either or, what if you took that money and just went out on your own, got the best equipment you can get, don't blow it all on equipment, but got the best equipment you can get, you took care of your bills for, you know, at least a couple of years, or however long you can pay the bills for in advance to take care of yourself, so you don't have to worry about how you're going to survive and live for the next 2 to 3 years. And then you would actually be able to create music while looking for a job, that is. But if you want to spend that money on a college education that's not going to guarantee you a job as a film composer, hey, be my guest. But you'll end up right where everybody else is who don't have film music degrees or music degrees, and might be just as qualified as you to score a project, but they'll be $50,000 richer because they didn't blow it on a degree that's basically useless as far as being a film composer. Not being a teacher, but being a film composer. Nothing guarantees you a job, a career as a film composer. That's the hard truth, just facts. So you gotta think long and hard if you wanna pursue a degree in music. If you must go to school, if your parents are on you, you know, on your back about going to school, go for something else. Go for the thing go for the field of study that you wouldn't mind working in. Let's say, put music aside. Say you had no interest in music whatsoever, but you had some interest, or at least were okay with working in other fields, other areas. Go to school for that. Get a degree in those things. That way, while you're pursuing your hobby, your passion of film scoring, you can be working a regular job that you got a degree for and can be potentially making decent money the entire time you're pursuing film scoring on the side. What you absolutely don't want to do is make being a film composer your number one job or income source. You cannot do that. You will fail. There is no doubt you will fail. So I'm trying to save you right now from that. You do not want to go into life, especially at the beginning, with the mentality of, I'm not working a job. I'm not working a regular job. I'm going to do music all day for a living. You do not want to have that mentality if you want to be a successful film composer. Because to be a film composer, it doesn't matter what level you are. Unless you can get 4 to 5 nice paying projects a year that can sustain your living expenses, then you're a person who has to get a regular job. And that is just part of the package of being a film composer. Don't look at working a regular job as a bad thing. You can still be a film composer on the side, but you can't let your dream of being a film composer mess up your reality as far as living goes. You still gotta live. You still gotta pay the mortgage or the rent. How you gonna do that if you don't have an income source, a sustainable income source? So part of, if I were to write a book on how to be a film composer, I would put in there, you must have a regular job daytime job, nighttime job, whatever, but you must have a regular full-time job, something, or even part-time if you can earn enough to live on, but you must have a job in order to sustain your lifestyle simultaneously pursuing a career in film school. Now, if you're one of those people who have to learn the hard way, then God bless you. Let me know how that works out for you. Not working, no money coming in, no help, no financial help from anybody whatsoever, but you in your studio all day. You living your dream. You creating music all day, getting little to no projects, and the projects you are getting, they trying to give you $100 at the most. They trying to give you $500 for 5 hours of music. They want it in a week. You let me know how that works out for you, how long you endure that, because I'm here to tell you, I'm living proof that doesn't work. And that's the whole purpose of these videos, is to save you from some of the things that I went through when I first started out as a film composer. We have to pass these things forward. We have to pass this information forward, because they don't teach this kind of stuff in film school or music school. This is the kind of stuff, the stuff I talk about is the kind of stuff that you learn while you're doing it. And if I can make the world a better place for aspiring film composers, then I'll do that. So this is my part of my gift to you. Go get a job, score on the side, be able to live, be able to take vacations, be able to go out, be able to treat your family, and do all the things that you would normally do if you had money. Don't be that struggling musician that has no money, that can't take care of himself or his family, all because you want to live your dream. Part of living you gotta sacrifice sometimes to get the dream. It's not gonna happen overnight. Part of the sacrifice of being a film composer is having to work a regular job. None of us want to do it. All of us want to do music all day. But you see some composers who are able to, and check this, and let me know if I'm wrong. Research a lot of composers, and you'll see how they've been able to maintain a certain lifestyle and compose music for years. Meanwhile, you have other composers who they start out and then you won't hear from them ever again after a year. They'll do 1 or 2 projects in the span of 5 years or whatever, and then you'll never hear from them again. And then when you do, it's, oh, I don't do that anymore. I went and, started such and such. Especially for filmmakers. That's the case. You reach out to filmmakers, there's even probably more filmmakers that do that than film composers. But they'll start it. Their mentality is, this is my job, this is my career, filmmaking or film music, and I ain't working no day job. I ain't devote my energy to that. I'm going to be a successful filmmaker or film composer, and that's it. And they start out like that. They get little to no work. The work that they do get, hardly any funds are coming in for that. They struggle after that first year and they give up and they're out of the game. And that's the majority of film composers and filmmakers. Check that, because I don't know how many contacts I have of both who I reach out to every year just to say what's up, see how everybody's doing, and the responses are, oh, I'm not in music anymore. I'm not in filmmaking anymore. I had to go on and go about my business and do something else. Oh, well, probably because you thought you were going to blow up from your very first project and didn't want to work and didn't want to get a regular income source to take care of yourself and finance your projects. Just saying. Don't let that be you. Don't be that guy. Don't be that lady. Please don't. Just listen. Heed my words and take it for what it's worth. And it's worth a lot, because I'm trying to save you heartache. I'm trying to save you headache. I'm trying to save you stress. I'm trying to save you from poverty. All of that. I'm trying to stop you from messing up the market for the rest of us. Let me throw that in there. So just listen, take this information and just be wise about your choices and your decision making. If you're going to be a film composer, be smart about it. I hope to see you at the end of the finish line. If you ever want to check out some of my music and things that I've worked on in the past, feel free to visit my website. It's www.jamiecoleman'smusic.wix.com/composer. And feel free to check me out on IMDb, social media, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, Composer Jamie C. That's my handle on most of them. Or just look up Composer Jamie Coleman. So with that, peace.